1966, Mao takes millions of ordinary teenagers and turns them into Red Guards, sending them out on a rampage to destroy everything old and bourgeois.
Trying to break the thinking and attitudes of old China, he began with her traditional culture. The 1,000-year-old Beijing Opera was singled out as the start of his attack. If it could be changed, then anything could be. 8 new revolutionary plays were written to replace all the old stories of emperors and concubines.
All ideas contrary to Mao's thinking and the objects that represented them had to be destroyed. Not just Confucianism and Buddhism, but even more so foreign faiths like Christianity. Throughout the country, churches were closed, clergy unfrocked, religious symbols smashed. The statue of the Virgin Mary was replaced by a portrait of Mao. One form of worship gave way to another. The physical destruction wrought by the Red Guards was unparalleled even in China's long history. Monasteries all over the country, as far away as distant Tibet, were ransacked and razed to the ground. The most important sites, like the Forbidden City, were protected on the orders of Zhou Enlai. But elsewhere, Mao's stormtroops had free rein. Zhou Enlai's implicit distinction between smashing bourgeois ideas and smashing bourgeois individuals was quickly forgotten. Over the next few weeks, tens of thousands of people in Beijing were harangued and severely beaten. Many hundreds died.
By late 1966, the great proletarian cultural revolution was well underway. The group behind it, led by Mao's wife, and later to be called the Gang of Four, tried to build the Mao cult to new heights. In school, children recited his message to them. Even small children were taught to denounce Liu.
The Red Guards went wild, doing all they could to fulfill their mission from Mao. But then, once they were done, Mao banished them to the remotest corners of China to live and learn from the peasants. 17 million saw out their teens in the countryside. For some, it would be 10 years before they came home.
But the Cultural Revolution only ended with Mao himself in 1976. In a bid to keep the country together, the propagandists exploited the scenes of mass emotion on Mao's death. Much of the grief was genuine, and many had seen their lives improve beyond measure. But many millions had suffered or died as victims of Mao's rhetoric. All his charisma hadn't delivered the new society he'd promised. After Mao's death, his closest associates, the Gang of Four, were arrested and charged with throwing the country into chaos. His most cherished ideas were abandoned.